Hello viewers, today we are going to see Class 11 CBSE Chapter 6 Python Fundamentals. The subtopics that we are going to see in this video are character set of Python, keywords, identifiers and literals. Let us see the character set in Python. The uppercase alphabets and lowercase alphabets, the digits 0 to 9, some special symbols, white spaces, and other characters like ASCII and Unicode characters form the character set of Python. What is a token? A token is the smallest individual unit in a program. It is also called as a lexical unit. There are 5 categories of lexical units in Python: keywords, identifiers or variables, literals or constants, operators, and punctuators. Let us move on to keywords. What is a keyword? Keywords are the reserved words which convey a special meaning to the compiler or interpreter. These keywords should not be used as variable names in a program. Some keywords in Python we can see here: false, true, none, is, in, are, lambda, while, of, for, if, etc. Let us see what are identifiers. Identifiers are the variable names that store some value in it. They are the fundamental building blocks of a program. You can see an example here: x is equal to 45. It is easily understood that the value 45 is getting stored in a variable called x. Let's see some of the rules to form an identifier. The first character in an identifier must be an alphabet or it can be an underscore. Python is case sensitive, so it treats the uppercase and lowercase letters as different. And we have to be very careful in defining a variable and using the same variable inside our program. The digits are allowed in a variable name, but they should not be used as the first character. An identifier should not be a keyword of Python. It cannot contain any special character, but the only special character allowed in an identifier is underscore. You can have an identifier in any length, that is, any number of characters can be coined together to form an identifier. Let us see some of the valid identifiers in Python. This starts with a capital alphabet, so it is valid. It starts with a capital alphabet and it has a number but at the last, so it is valid. It starts with an underscore, so it is valid. This starts with a small alphabet and having an underscore and a number, it is valid. This starts with a capital alphabet, it has a number but the number is present in between, so it is valid. Some of the invalid identifiers are: this starts with a number, so it is invalid. It has a space in between, so it is invalid. It has a dot, which is a special character, so it is invalid. This is a keyword of Python, so it is invalid. This is also a keyword in Python, so it is invalid. Let us move on to literals or constants. What is a literal? Literals are the data items which have a fixed value. There are many types of literals in Python: string literals, numeric literals, Boolean literals, special literal called none, and collection of literals. Let us see what are string literals. The text which we enclose in quotes forms string literals in Python. The quotes may be single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. The triple quotes can be written as 3 different single quotes or 3 different double quotes. Both are allowed in Python. But there are some non-graphic characters which cannot be directly typed from the keyboard. So those characters are given using escape sequences. Escape sequences are signified by a backslash followed by some characters. Let us see the table of escape sequences. The first character, two backslashes are given. It prints one backslash. The second one, backslash single quote. So it prints one single quote. The third one, backslash double quote. It prints a double quote. Backslash A will give you an ASCII bell sound. Backslash R, it has the character carriage written. Backslash N is the new line character. Backslash T is the horizontal tab character. Backslash F is the ASCII form field. There are two types of strings in Python. The first one is the single line string. Single line strings are created in Python by enclosing the text between single quotes or double quotes. But the condition is they must terminate in a single line. See this example, text 1 is equal to hello world. This is valid. But in this second example, the text is written in two different lines. So the second example will produce an error. Next we move on to multi-line strings. There are two ways of writing multi-line strings in Python. The first one is adding backslash at the end of each line if we are using a single quote or double quote. The second way is writing a string with triple quotation marks. If you are using triple quotes, you need not have the backslash at the end. Again, the triple quotes can be three different single quotes or three different double quotes. Let us calculate the size of strings. Escape sequences are always counted as one character. Even though we are writing backslash n, Python will count it as 1 byte. The size as 1 byte. So second example, Rahul backslash apostrophe s. The size will be 7 because backslash apostrophe is counted as one character. And single quotes can be given within double quotes and double quotes can be given within single quotes. If that is the case, the single quotes or double quotes that are given within the string are not counted. See the example, RAM apostrophe s. The size of this string will be 4. In multi-line strings with triple quotes, the end of line character is also counted. How? X is equal to triple quotes A, enter key, B, enter key, C, closing quotes. So here we are pressing enter key twice. Though those two enter keys are counted as two EOL characters. So the size of this string will be 5. But in multi-line strings with single or double quote, we have to use a backslash at the end of every line. This backslash is not counted. See this example, y is equal to a backslash b backslash c. The size of this string will be 3. Let us move on to numeric literals. There are three types of numeric literals in Python. The first one is integer. Any whole number without a decimal point is considered as an integer by Python. Those integers can be negative or positive. Floating point values. Numbers that has a decimal point are treated as floating point numbers in Python. And complex numbers. As we have in mathematics, the same concept is applied here. The complex number is of the form a plus bj, where the imaginary part j is equal to root of -1. The next type of literal is the Boolean literal. There are two Boolean literals in Python, true and false. Notice the capitalization of the first letter in both the literals. The next literal is the special literal in Python, that is none. None means nothing. So in this literal, nothing is stored, but it will be useful in some programming situations. Next, we move on to the literal collection in Python. The first literal collection is list, signified by a pair of square brackets. Tuple, signified by a pair of parentheses. and dictionary signified by a pair of curly braces. Thank you viewers for watching.